Okay, so part five, I'm talking about the civil side of the case between her ex-boyfriend and her father. So I was following up on those documents for the court, and I can see that her father is trying to. This is also what led me to find out more incriminating things about her father. In the whenever you get served court paperwork, you need to respond to it within like 14 days or 30 days. It depends on which county or state you're in. So, uh, in this response, right, he got served the paperwork. This guy, right, he could have typed up some professional response saying, hey, I got the paperwork. Please let me know when the court date is scheduled. Keep me updated. This guy writes on a piece of paper in chicken scratch handwriting. My name is Jad Dean. I am responding to this lawsuit against me. I think it is very unfair. I have no money, no assets, no properties, no stocks, nothing in my name. I have lot of credit card debt and I am on government on state assistance right now. No, and I have no bank account. That was his response to the lawsuit. Okay? First of all, they don't need none of that nonsense. They don't That's all that extra crap at the bottom. They don't care. Just say yes, I got the lawsuit. Just keep me posted on when the first appearance is and all that stuff. This guy thinks he can escape punishment simply because I'm poor. I'm on state benefits. I'm poor. Now, when I finally got confirmation, okay, this guy is on state assistance. He's on disability. He can't work. He must have done something to get on that. Like, how do you fraudulently get on Social Security disability without some sort of, evidence? They don't just accept you just because you say you're disabled. Like, you got to have some concrete proof. So, discovering all this, I'm like, I need to find out who this sinister, devious Jad Dean person is, right? So I'm thinking, okay, he's had his run in the law with narcotics back in 2006. He's been in 2006 in Texas. What about where his other family lives? I know he's got family in Michigan. So what do I start doing? I start being Batman in Michigan. I go search Shadi or Isa Sadadine in the Michigan courts, and I start searching Jadine in the Michigan courts, and lo and behold, I come across SA Express versus, or Jadine versus SA Express. This was a lawsuit brought on by Jadine to this trucking company. So Jad, her father, used to be a truck driver, okay? So in 2020, he got in a car accident in Ohio, okay? And some Houston law firm, they took it on their behalf to represent him. You know how the lawyers, they don't charge you anything. They take like a cut, like a 33%, you get 77%, whatever. So they take this cut. Everyone, when it's an insurance case, they can milk the system and exaggerate. Oh, my neck, my back, my crack, everything, my body broken, I need $5 billion. You know how it goes. That's what everyone does with insurance. That's why everyone's insurance premiums are high. Anyways, this case goes on from 2020 to all the way 2022. In August, I can see that there was a jury awarded the the plaintiff Jed 5.5 million, something like that, $5+ million. And I'm like, what the heck? This guy got $5 million in 2022, and yet he's trying to extort me for 400. Why is he acting like this? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, did he lose this money, or did he, just, he's being greedy? Like, it didn't make sense, because like, I thought this entire time, like, okay, he's poor, he's got no money because he never cut the grass in his backyard. It's like up to your freaking chest, and then the fence like is falling over in his backyard. He never paid to fix it. He hasn't fixed the drywall in his house. When I was engaged to him, his daughter, I went and stayed at their house, and they never fixed their AC unit. They got a box window AC unit like you stick out of an apartment window, and he's never fixed that for the last 3-4 months. I'm thinking, if this guy's got $5+ million since 2022, there's no way you lost all that money in freaking 2.5 years. There's just no way it happens like that. So I just couldn't understand that part. However, I started researching that case. I started looking at all the lawyers on that case, and on the defendant's side and on the plaintiff's side. I come across another lawyer's, the defendant's lawyer, on their public website. So it's so ironic is that when I searched the case SA Express versus Jad Dean on ChatGPT, it gave me information that I didn't even know about, because I can't really understand all the legal jargon. There's like 100 PDF files that I just do not want to go through reading all that stuff. So I use ChatGPT to tell me everything about it. It tells me that the case got a jury awarded verdict for $5 million. However, the defense was able to appeal that decision and overturn it, essentially disregarding the $5 million awarded by the jury, disregarded it, get thrown out, and essentially set the case to restart all over again, right? And I was like, whoa, is that true? I go and search this case specifically up on that lawyer, and they were boasting about it. The defense team of that lawyer was saying, yeah, we ended up getting a $5.5 million verdict overturned and saving my client a lot of money, and we're able to settle the case. And then I even got as far as like I was able to speak on the phone. Let me see how much time I got left. 6 minutes. Okay. So I even got on the phone with Jacob Demir, the actual defense team for that truck driving company, and he said basically he couldn't, tell me what it settled for because of client attorney privilege, but he essentially hinted to me in a way. He's like, listen, this guy is a scammer. He is a fraudster. He is, trying to exaggerate. They got some BS doctors claiming that he's got fractured this and fractured that. It was just all BS. They pay these doctors money to make whatever claim they want. And we were able to get all that stuff dismissed and thrown out. And then essentially this case got settled in 2024. So from 2020 to 2024, that's 4 years. What he basically made it seem like was that just the lawyers, they got their bills paid. So there was no like, all right, you got $5 million awarded, you want to go to retrial? Let's settle this for like $1 million. And Jed got $700,000 and the lawyers got $300,000. No. That's not what they settled for. They settled for just to get their bills paid. That's essentially what he said. So it makes sense. He never got any money from that. However, he was able to fool the government and get on Social Security disability. So he's been on Social Security disability and he's not allowed to work since that accident in 2020, 2021, whichever year he applied, I don't know, it doesn't matter. So everything makes sense. This is why his daughter isn't being represented by an attorney and she's doing everything pro se. Even though they have all my gold, they have about $13,000 worth of gold, they must have used it to pay off their debt or to go on their BS vacation. They went to, Paris or Lebanon or Turkey, whatever. I don't know where they went. And I guess they are trying to hide money and make it appear like they're poor because he's got that civil case coming up and he's definitely gonna, have to pay some money. So if his whole shtick is making it seem like he's some poor, disabled man, he's got no money, I think he is trying to squeeze every penny that he can get from the government, but while saving every penny he can when it comes to trying to sue me, or at least his daughter suing me. Why hasn't he gotten his daughter a lawyer? It's because he's broke, because he's a poor leech with no money. 51-year-old man makes his wife work while he sits on his butt collecting Social Security and can't even afford to give his daughter a lawyer. The lawyer, you could get a lawyer for like, I don't have a lawyer because I honestly, I'm pretty confident in my abilities to articulate, this, subject in front of a judge. Okay, got a minute left. But his daughter, no, she needs help. And I know there's lawyers out there for like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. He couldn't pay $4,000 for a lawyer for his daughter. They could have probably got all these motions filed and passed through. They could have taken possession of my own. They could have probably gotten a lot of things because I wasn't, with a lawyer. I was kind of defending myself, but because my opponent is my ex-wife, who is, not the brightest lawyer, all right? It was easy to dismiss all of her arguments. So, yeah, this is essentially why I have a slam dunk case, because her father is poor. Their family, I don't care about it. I don't want to make fun of their family. The only bad people in that family is the father and the oldest daughter, Tima. I'm going to end it right there. Go to the next part.